Good afternoon, and I'd like to thank you all for joining me today. I'd like to start off with a quote from an unknown source that reads, "Small daily improvements are the key to staggering long-term results." I'd like you to think about that during today's demonstration. The purpose of today's speech is to show you how to replace an electrical outlet in your home. There are three main ideas. The first one is how to remove the outlet, the second one is how to install the new outlet, and the third one is how to test your results to make sure you've installed it properly. The first main idea is how to remove the outlet. The first step in this process is to turn off the circuit breaker connected to the room you're working in. Doing so will ensure that you have no risk of electric shock while you're completing the process. The second step is to remove the wall plate on the outlet. You do so by removing the one flathead screw in between the two sockets. Once you've removed the screw, you set it along with the wall plate aside. The next step is to remove the outlet from the electrical box. You do so by switching to a Phillips head screwdriver and removing the screw at the top and on the bottom of the outlet. Once these two screws have been removed, you can slide the outlet outside of the electrical box a little bit to give yourself more room to work. The next step is to remove the two hot or black wires. You do so by loosening the two Phillips head screws on the side that have the gold on them, and then pulling the wires out from the slot. After doing so, you move on to removing the two neutral wires, which are the white ones. You do so by loosening the two silver screws on the opposite side, and then sliding the white wires out. After that, you need to remove the last wire, which is the ground wire. It will be either green or bare copper. You do so by removing the screw, loosening the screw on the bottom of the outlet, and sliding out the green wire. Once you've done so, you need to set aside the outlet that is faulty, and you are now complete with the first main point, which is how to remove the outlet. The next main point is how to install the new outlet. You do so by grabbing a spare outlet you have around your house, or if you do not have one, you need to go to the hardware store and purchase one that matches the color of the one you removed. After you have your new outlet, you need to flip it around to the back side where you see the strip gauge. You need to take every wire that you have and make sure that it has been stripped to the proper length by lining it up with the strip gauge and making sure the wire has enough insulation removed to properly install it. Once you've ensured that all wires have been stripped to proper length, the next step is to use the wires you've now stripped to make little hooks on the end. You wrap the hook around to make a small loop to where the tip of it is meeting the same point of where the insulation stops. After you've created a hook on all 5 wires, you need to go back the same way you started and install the 2 black wires into the outlet. You do so by grabbing the outlet and finding the gold side with the gold screws and wrapping the hook around the screw to where the tip of the hook that is not connected to the wire is pointing towards the top of the outlet, or if you're holding it horizontally, to the right. You wrap the hook around the screw and tighten it in place. You do the same for both black wires. And once they've both been tightened down, you have now completed installing the hot or black wires. After installing the hot wires, you need to move on to the neutral wires, which are the white wires. Once again, you do the exact same thing by creating a hook, wrapping it around the screw. This time, since you're working on the opposite side of the outlet, you need to ensure that the tip of the hook that is not connected to the wire is pointing down or to the left. You slide the wire around the screw and tighten it in place. You do the same for both neutral wires, and after tightening it down, there's only one more wire to go. The last wire you need to make a hook for is the ground wire, which is either, once again, green or bare. Slide it around the wire, you slide it around the screw on the bottom, once again making sure you have attached the hook the proper way, and tighten down the final screw. Once you've installed all the screws, make sure that they're all tight and not touching any part of the metal they're not supposed to. You then slide the outlet back into place inside the electrical box, ensuring that none of the metal contacts are touching any of the other metal contacts they're not supposed to come in contact with. Once you've slid the outlet into place, you then tighten back the 2 screws on the top and bottom of the outlet that you removed in the first place. Once you've tightened these 2 screws all the way down, the last step is to take the wall plate, slide it over the center of the 2 outlets, switch back to your flathead screwdriver, and tighten the wall plate down. Once the wall plate is tight, you have now completed the second main job, which is how to install the new outlet. Final main point is how to test your results to ensure that you've installed it properly to avoid any fire hazard or any safety issue. You do so by taking a circuit tester and plugging it into one of the 2 sockets you just installed. The circuit tester has 3 lights, which, depending on which set of lights has been lit up, it will tell you if you have an issue with any of your 3 wires or if you've wired it correctly. If there's an issue, you need to turn the circuit breaker back off and go back inside your outlet to make sure you've attached all the wires properly. If there's no issues and it says you are correct, then you have completed the process. Now you can see just how simple it is to remove and install an electrical outlet in your home. The 3 main points of today's speech were how to remove, how to install, and then how to test your results of an electrical outlet in your house. I'd like to leave you with a quote from Nelson Mandela that says, "It always seems impossible until it's done." If you stick to this philosophy when replacing your own electrical outlets, you can be done in no time. Thank you.